yourself a favor and go. Just go. Click on something else. Really, you don't want to stay here. You won't survive it. I barely survived it. This movie's horrendous! It's horrendous! It's just ungodly, unnatural. If a piece of shit took a piece of shit, and that piece of shit took a piece of shit, and that piece of shit took a piece of shit, and that piece of shit took a piece of shit, and that piece of shit made a movie, and that movie took a piece of shit, this is a piece of shit, you would say! Felix the cat.
Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. Whenever he gets in a fix, he reaches into his bag of tricks.
I know what you're thinking. What? That black and white cartoon from God knows when? How could a film based on that thing be as horrible as I'm making it out to be? How could some innocent animation from the 20s possibly affect someone in the most horrendous ways you can imagine? You've been warned. Okay, so we start off this movie with, you sure you don't want to turn back? There's still time. I'm sure Angry Joe has a good video. Okay. So we start off this film about the classic 2D animated character with, of course, some classic 2D animate. What the fuck, the puss?
Oh, hi everybody! Glad you could make it.
And hundreds of screaming kids go running out of the theater.
You see, I just got back from the land of Oriana.
Wow, you almost had actual lip movement there that time. Keep it up, and your mouth might actually close a few times when you say a sentence.
Come to think of it, I don't even know if I could get back there myself.
And in case you're wondering, no, there's no other 3D animation in the entire picture. So really, this is completely pointless. It's like watching that annoying Mario head at the opening of Mario 64. Yeah, it looked nice then, but it's awkward and disturbing now. Which one of our voices is more annoying? Don't make me choose! Okay, so after we're done with Cat Headroom, we finally get our title, Felix the Cat. Yay! We then see the land of Oriana, where Princess Oriana, bit of an ego trip there, is busy running her country when she's suddenly interrupted.
I hope I'm not disturbing you.
I always have time for you.
This increase in credits you've decreed, it's just unheard of.
I'm so glad you agree. Oh, it's happened. I should have known. I saw all the signs.
Oh god, this movie's gonna hurt. Okay, so you might notice, well, to be perfectly honest, all the problems with the movie in the first 2 minutes. Yeah, actually everything wrong with this film you can sum up in literally the first 2 minutes. Firstly, the animation is obnoxious. It needs riddling. Second, it has the same problem as The Magic Voyage. It's just constant noise all throughout the film. It never takes a break.
The Duke of Zill. He's gotten through the impasse with a whole army. They're almost here.
Take the city.
But surprisingly, this film is even worse. Why? Because the sound mixing is so bad that half the time you can't even make out what they're saying.
But they blocked the tracks. Cosmic Palladium. Quiet Pearl, they'll hear you.
Give The Magic Voyage some credit. I at least heard every piece of shit dialogue that was written. Third, the lip movements almost never match what the characters are saying. Look at this scene. The guy never closes his mouth.
I will delay them for as long as I can. I'm old. They won't harm me.
How's he form consonants? But hey, seeing how we can't hear what the characters are saying half the time anyway, I guess it doesn't matter. That's 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and already I want to stab a puppy and eat people. Pray for the apocalypse, people! We have 80 more minutes of this shit! Okay, so what I could gather over the underwater audio is that the princess's uncle, named Zill,
That's a name no one would self-apply where I come from.
is in the process of taking over her kingdom.
May I remind you, Princess Oriana, that since you disbanded the army, there is now no defense against such a possibility.
Thank you, Grumper. I don't need to be reminded.
Clearly you do, because that was a pretty jackass move. You got rid of your entire army? Who does that?
Princess, why did you dispose of our army?
Well, when in the history books has anybody ever taken a government down?
You're joking, right?
And even if someone did try to break in, I would just hold my dress on both sides and think happy thoughts. Doesn't that sound the most logical?
This conversation makes me feel drunk.
So they tried to get her out through a hidden tunnel, but the Doctor Who robots are close in on their tails.
We can't let the cube see us.
So they outwit the evil boxes.
Oh, don't you talk about my boxes! I like boxes!
and come across a room where a machine that can jump dimensions is kept.
I do hope the Dimensporter still works. It's so old.
Wait a minute, so old? You mean you have an ungodly powerful dimensional transporter and you never use it? What the fuck is wrong with this bimbo? I've been using it to make hot chocolate. But the machines grab her before she can get it to work.
Princess, the palace is under siege!
What the hell? Thank God that 1980s music video tear suddenly turned gold and activated the machine. It happens! Good buttery God, her tears are incredible! I mean, if that's just what they can do, imagine what her snot could be capable of! So the tear goes to a totally different dimension. On its own, it's alive, yeah. And it looks for a dimension not nearly as strange or surreal as the one they're currently in. Does it come to our world? Well, I'm gonna say no on that, because even though it looks like our world, there's cars in it like our world, and there's even humans in it like our world, there's a talking cat who walks around with everyday people and carries a magical bag that he can somehow morph into anything. So clearly, it's not our everyday, normal world! Why does this get me so angry? Well, because it raises the question, why the fuck do we have a different dimension in this movie? Why couldn't Felix just be in Oriana, the strange world? He's already strange! He's a talking cat! It's not like the real world meets something odd and whimsical, it's weird-ass shit meeting weird-ass shit! So this plot point has no purpose. It's just wasting time! Something you'll find this movie is very, very good at! So, as you can hear, Felix's dialogue is about as complex as an Itchy and Scratchy cartoon. Oh hell, even they have more respectable dialogue than this crap. So while Felix is chasing the magical flying golden tear, someone had to write that. Two scientists are watching him because apparently they want control of his magic bag.
Yes, Uncle. This must be something really big, if he's got his bag.
Yes, the bag! I've always wanted that bag! Perhaps this is an ideal opportunity for me to acquire it.
So, this may sound weird, but I think Felix the cat has way too much story. There's like a million things going on at once in this movie. You're not directing Inception, it's Felix the fucking cat!
Sly as a fox, you got me under your spell.
Does this really warrant a song? It's just some foxes looking at a bag. Why does this lend itself to musical accompaniment?
You just outfoxed yourself the way I knew you would.
They must be learning from the Randy Newman School of Pointless Songwriting.
Foxes, they like looking at bags, and then they walk away so their tails are gonna wag. You pay Randy now.
He follows the tear down a hole where he sees the remains of an old mine.
I think I'm starting to fall for you. Boy, could you use a Big Mac, huh?
Boy, Felix is kind of sick, isn't he? Does he always laugh at the dead when he comes across them? Ha 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 ha! You stupid skull! Ah, ha, ha, ha. All right, time to get some reading done. Ha, ha, ha. Stupid people who died at the hands of Joseph Stalin! So he finds himself in the dimensional jumper-upper and gets sent to Oriana. But he's trapped in a room and uses his magic bag to drill his way out. Okay, this is making the yellow submarine look sober. It's just pointless nonsense on top of pointless nonsense! In fact, what was that line used to describe iocane powder in The Princess Bride?
It is odorless, tasteless, and is among the more deadly poisons known to man.
Yeah! That's this movie! By the way, I should point out that Felix's magic bag really has no logical reasoning to it. He just sort of looks at it, lasers come out his eyes, and suddenly it transforms into whatever he wants. There's no limitation or understanding of it at all. We don't even know where it came from or how he got it. He just starts off with it and, hey, it's a magic bag. Don't question it. You know, maybe that would work better in the 1920s when animation was new and it horrified people. Oh my god, a cat's doing things with a bag. Hide your children. But when this came out, it makes about as much sense as it does now.
Howdy, stranger.
I speak for the trees.
Why don't you just follow me? By yourself, you can get in a lot of trouble out here.
Look out! That's painted into the background, so obviously it's not gonna move.
Too fast, Sonny. I got you.
But the old man traps him in a cherry sperm and hands him over to a circus entertainer who wants to exploit his magic bag. Meanwhile, Dr. Wily and Dr. Honeydew try following Felix to see if they can capture his bag as well.
Felix is definitely over his head this time.
Change formers, less than you'd expect.
While that's going on, the entertainer tries to force Felix to show how to use his magic bag.
What is your name? All right, let's try again. What is your name?
What the fuck is he doing?
That's real good. Listen, pussycat. You want to eat? Then you work.
My name is Felix.
Stop that! You're getting way too much enjoyment out of whatever you're doing. What did they even tell the person who was animating that?
Alright, I want you to make it look like he's dry humping a trash can. No questions, damn it, no questions. I have a very specific vision.
So the show slash circus slash thing that the entertainer runs finally begins. And you're not gonna believe it. It's really loud, obnoxious, and annoying.
Who is our boss? The Doom Godzilla boss. Who never gathers moss? The Doom Godzilla boss.
What, the anus? Okay, I have no idea why they just showed her face right there, but let me tell you, it sums up the movie. That's the face I'm gonna make throughout the entire flick. This whole sequence is like a bad fever dream after watching Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Are there any queers in the audience tonight? Get him up against the wall! Yes! No! There's one in the spotlight, he don't look right!
But Felix performs, and it turns out he's a big hit with his magic bag. Why he doesn't just turn it into a semi-automatic and blow the shit out of everybody, I don't know. But he does make all the Fraggle Rock gremlins happy.
You did good, eh? You're a born performer, eh?
We then see the princess is forced to perform while dancing inside a bubble.
Fucking bubbles!
Why is it princesses can never seem to get out of bubbles? Like Princess Daphne, don't all they have to do is pop it? I mean, this isn't rocket science. In fact, this whole movie seems like a lost Don Bluth game. Dragons suck.
I must be strong. Perhaps if I continue to dance
What?
for them, the Duke will
What?
show mercy on my
What?
people.
I can't hear. What?
Show mercy on my people.
Guess what? That constant pounding sound coming from the robots is not vitally important to hear. Maybe the inner thoughts of one of our main characters holds a little bit more weight. But not likely.
Gotcha! It's all right. I'm not gonna hurt you.
So he befriends these two mice who for some reason dress up like lizards and for some reason can chew through metal. It's not even worth questioning. As they let him out and lead him up to the princess's cell.
This may sound crazy, but I'm not from around here. I followed a tear with an image, your image inside it, and here I am because of you.